Is your partner avoidant or are they just not interested? How can you tell?
They most certainly have interest in pursuing the connection, but it's a question of how far they're happy or willing to take the connection.
The person jumps into the deep end, realizes that's not what I want, and just like backpedals and shuts you off.
Something often overlooked in a conversation, it generally starts with, we had such great chemistry, isn't that? I'm like, okay, the time frame. And were you the one making it happen, or are they also initiating?
The only way to know for sure whether you're dealing with someone who's just not interested or whether it's an avoidant who just needs a little help is to give them this little help and then back off.
When I meet them in person, everything's great.
But then the moment we're apart,
Yes, it falls apart.
I even had people who are married who are going through it.
And there's no agreement that this is an open relationship
No.
or something like that, right? They just
It's
start.
just like, I want to separate, goodbye. Hi guys, welcome to the next episode of Attachment Diaries. I'm Karolina.
I'm Gabriel.
And today we're going to talk about avoidant or just not interested. How can you tell them apart?
Yeah. How do you tell them apart?
It's a tough one, I would say.
Yeah, I think it is tricky. And generally, it might even be the central question within a coaching call. Are they interested? Are they avoidant?
Am I
how do you tell?
imagining this whole relationship?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought about this topic and I came up with 3 different types of scenarios where this kind of dilemma comes up. And I thought we could talk about it one after the next and discuss, like, in this particular scenario, how do you tell if your partner is an avoidant or if they're just not interested in a serious relationship with you or in a serious relationship in general. So I'll start with scenario number 1, which is something that often happens in the early stages, right after you got to know someone, where you meet a person and you have this instant connection. And either it can be like you're on the same page about all the most important things and it feels like they value the same things you do and you have shared goals and that kind of stuff, or it can be this insane emotional connection and you just jump right into the deep end and talk about like childhood and all your traumas and everything, or it can be this intense sexual chemistry where you're just like all over each other from the first date. So you meet, you click, it's amazing, and you kind of dive right into the deep end. And then a week into it, 2 weeks in, a couple of weeks in, the avoidance starts pulling away. And you as the other person, you were wondering, did I do something wrong? Am I the problem? What is going on? Like, you're familiar with this types of scenario, right? I think we fit in that somewhere there too.
Yeah.
Like, we could refer to this types of situations as the ghoster, avoidant type.
Because it's coming in hot and then they often disappear.
And then poof, yeah. Often without warning, explanation, or they just start distancing themselves.
Yeah.
Or like you can suddenly say, oh, I'm not really looking for a serious relationship.
Right.
Yeah. So when this happens, like, what are the ways of knowing for sure that an avoidant is emotionally invested?
I think the clearest way is that they keep coming back, even if they ghost, that you hear from them in ideally a few days, a few weeks. I know for some people it can be months, which is a very long time, but that they're always popping up on your radar again and showing you, hey, I'm around, I've been thinking of you, or they send you a reel or cat memes, something to indicate they are interested.
So they keep on coming back on their own accord.
Yeah, that's the definite way to tell.
What if they don't keep on reaching out, but they watch all your Instagram stories?
That's also a signal.
Women do that.
I've seen it with male partners too. It's another way of popping on your radar. It's less direct.
So this is like a sign, if they keep on coming back on their own accord, it's a sign that they're emotionally invested, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean anything? Does it mean that they have interest in pursuing this connection?
They most certainly have interest in pursuing the connection, but it's a question of how far they're happy or willing to take the connection. We can maybe talk about this in more detail at a later stage, but you might have people that are interested in being connected emotionally, but they don't want to go further than that, right?
So like a casual friendship with
or situationship or something. So with this ghoster type, it is coming in really hot, and then there's so much emotional intensity and investment, and it just feels like, wow, I never had a connection like this before. This is amazing, and we both feel the same way, and you might do a lot together, see each other every other day, be in touch every day, and then it just vanishes or significantly diminishes, and the person's left wondering what the hell happened. They go and do some research and are online, they hear about avoidance and so on and so forth, and the conclusion is then often, well, I'm clearly dealing with an avoidant.
Yeah. But then the conclusion also is, oh, maybe they need a bit more pursuit, or they have been ghosted, I should leave it. And I find it's tricky to know when to do which. Because with some avoidants, I do feel like they do jump into the deep end and they freak themselves out, and then they pull away, and in the pulling away they're testing if you're gonna be cool with it.
Yes.
Right? And if you are, then they come closer again and they're interested, and you have to pass that test. With other people, what I noticed is they jump into the deep end, but usually they are the ones that were making everything happen. And when they withdraw, it's a test like, are you gonna do anything?
You mean when
the person labeled as avoidant actually wasn't at all an avoidant? That I find it's so common with men and women, that man can be in this role where like, I'm the one in charge, I'm gonna conquer your heart, I'm gonna make it all happen, initiating. And then at some point he's like, well, but is she even into me? And he's gonna stop making an effort. Like, we'll just pull back
to see what she does,
to see what the woman will do. At which point women are like, oh, he's an avoidant.
He's not interested.
Or that I need to give him space. When the guys can even communicate it and say, I need you to reach out too. And the girl will be like, well, it's not my place to reach out. And it just fizzles out because it's a miscommunication.
It's a more traditional model.
Yeah,
right?
When
the guy's supposed to make all the moves.
And then there's the third scenario where the person jumps into the deep end, realizes that's not what I want, and just like backpedals and shuts you off, and turns out they don't actually want you to pursue, they just want you to leave them alone.
So within this ghoster character, there are three different scenarios we're kind of talking about. One is where they are interested, everything is super intense, or all three of them, it's very intense initially. But then they withdraw, seemingly because they're testing whether you can respect that.
The boundary,
or the need for them to just turn the intensity down a bit. The other is where the guy, often can also be the other way around, of course, wants to see that you're willing to make an effort too.
Or the girl, right?
Exactly. It can go both ways. That it's not all on them to initiate and make the relationship happen. And the third is where the person is just actually not interested. That they've changed their mind essentially somewhere along the lines.
So when coaching clients come to you with this story, how do you, for yourself, differentiate whether this is a viable relationship or whether this is a waste of time? Like, what are your indicators?
I would say that a relationship time is important. For a lot of people, it can be 1 to 2 months of really intense emotion. And giving that too much credit, I think, is a mistake. You have to see how somebody acts as a person and behaves 6 to 8 months. I think gives you a rather realistic idea of who this person is in 3 dimensions with all of their flaws and traits. So time. Another one I would say is actions, speaking louder than words. If they are doing things to demonstrate to you that they care, then that's an indicator of them being more serious.
Like arranging to meet up,
making plans, initiating conversations. So those are the ones that I would say are pretty important and come up for me right away. It's something I'll ask a client. And it's something often overlooked in a conversation. It generally starts with, we had such great chemistry, isn't that? But I'm like, okay, the time frame, and were you the one making it happen, or are they also initiating? What are your top indicators?
I would agree on these ones. And I have one more, whether they were vulnerable. Because with the ghoster type, the ghoster player type, I've heard a couple of my coaching clients were totally blindsided by it. Like when they paint out a story that's too good to be true, maybe that's just my own prejudice. When someone has a pet name for you on day 2, to me that's like a major red flag. Because it's almost like they don't want to memorize your name. I know it sounds bad.
But I think that can very well be the case.
One of my coaching clients, the guy called her princess. My princess, my princess. And was supposedly all in. And then had these crazy explanations as to why he's disappearing. Like very personal, crazy stuff. Where you're like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for him. His ex crashed his car.
Something
extreme, yeah. But overall, I guess it's like a vibe. It's a vibe check. And if the vibe is off, if the story sounds a bit too crazy and not...
Or if these stories constantly happen.
Yeah, and are they even true? And what really happened? Yeah.
So nickname on day 2 and embellished stories.
Yes. But you never know, right? So it's hard to tell. Should I just discard this person's horrible story? Or maybe they did have valid reasons for ghosting me, right?
Which is where the time frame is so important.
Yeah.
So with these ghoster types, or even player, like you could put that in one category, I suppose.
Yeah, I think so, actually. I think it's the same type. A bit. I think in this type of scenario, the only way to know for sure whether you're dealing with someone who's just not interested or whether it's an avoidant who just needs a little help is to give them this little help and then back off.
Right.
To like open the conversation, but not initiate a meetup, for example. To check in, but also say, it's not cool that you ghosted me. To dare to face the truth and call them out a little and let them reveal where they're at. And if it's an avoidant and you throw them little breadcrumbs, they fall for it.
They'll do something with it.
They'll do something with it. Breadcrumbing works both ways. Works really well.
Yeah. You have the cardboard box at the end as well.
With the trap, yeah.
That's how I got trapped.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree, you have to give them a little something to help jumpstart the conversation maybe, or suggest like something, but let them do half the work.
Yes.
You cannot be the one doing all of the work. And when I see clients stuck in a dynamic where they're doing like 90% of the work, it's just not sustainable, especially if even then it can be over a long period of years sometimes, where I'm like, you have to step back and let them do what they're gonna do without you pushing for something. And if they then make an effort, like a gesture that is meaningful and or consistently make an effort, then great. But if they do nothing, you have your unfortunate answer. It's not a relationship then. It's a one-way street where you're just forcing everything along. In which case, you're not necessarily dealing with an avoidant. You might just be dealing with somebody that's not interested.
So we accidentally wandered into my scenario too, which is exactly this, where you have some sort of relationship that often spans over months, sometimes even years, but never becomes a full relationship. And the story the avoidant tells you, or the story you tell yourself, is, oh, he or she is just very shy, they have issues, they are traumatized, they need me to take charge, they need me to make an effort, they need me to win them over.
And once I do, then things work. Especially when I meet them in person, everything's great.
But then the moment we're apart,
it falls apart.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts, experiences with this type?
Yeah, as mentioned, I think there are pretty extreme ones where it really is just a very long period of time where it is all a one-sided effort. I find long distance relationships can have a bit of that too. The same principle kind of applies. It's an unfulfilled love where you are putting so much time and energy and effort in, hoping that somewhere down the line there'll be this payoff where they finally confess their love, or even just gradually come to you, where you're really just hoping and pining after something that's never fully given. And in a way, this dynamic is often something the person that is investing so much in and making the relationship happen feels comfortable in. It's
the long distance.
Yeah, a long distance relationship, or just somebody that is hard to get through to. It's also their comfort zone in a way. Because if they were with or maybe they have been with somebody that was more imposing and quick and pushy, and that understandably didn't feel good, so they just kind of go into a different direction. And when they have somebody that is more distant and unavailable like this, it is a bit like they feel like they can control the pace more, at least slowing down. The speeding up part is the really difficult part in it. And what are we calling this type of?
Shy introvert?
The shy introvert.
So in case of this shy introvert type, where you're the only one investing, and you're giving and you're giving and you're
or
giving.
mostly investing.
Yes, mostly investing. Have you ever met anybody who made it work, who turned it into an actual relationship?
I think it's very rare, honestly.
It usually fizzles out, right?
It usually fizzles out. There are obviously circumstances where I would speak to somebody on multiple occasions and it feels like it's getting better, and then I don't hear from them, so it's hard to know. It could be either way.
It could be, yeah.
But often it can also be about coming to terms with, this is going to take too long, and you need to set some boundaries or have some standards to reveal where the person's actually at, and come to terms with the fact that you can't make the whole relationship happen yourself. You have to let the person step up, and if they can't at all, then you're kind of parenting this person to an extreme.
Like avoidance can be so in and out, or keep the like one foot out to a degree where when you put your foot down, they just run away.
Yeah. The moment you set some kind of, and that's what these clients are often afraid of.
Yeah.
That if they ultimately say, I can't do this anymore, or they express how they feel, that they want closeness, that they have feelings for this person, that they're going to ruin it.
Mm.
So they're walking on eggshells the whole time, trying to not trigger a deactivation.
Mm.
And I get that to some extent. You do need to accommodate each other and work with each other's limits, but there are degrees. And if you're the one who's coming the other person's way 90%, that's not
It's not a
healthy, it's not
relationship.
sustainable, it's not a relationship. It's hurting the person too, because they're investing so much time and energy. And if that doesn't work out, then
It's like a bad investment.
Yeah, it's another major heartbreak on their belt.
And with this, we're again drifting into the next type I wanted to discuss, because you said if you speak up, right? If you start setting boundaries or having needs or demands, the avoidant shuts down or they get defensive.
Yeah.
And this is the third type of situation I wanted to mention, the defensive avoidant type, where you have had a relationship that was usually functioning to a better or worse degree, and then you started having needs, or maybe the relationship kind of deteriorated a bit for whatever reason, and now the avoidance just totally dismissive. Or now your partner has become dismissive and you come to realize, oh, maybe they have avoidant attachment because they're dismissive or fearful of commitment, don't want to make any plans anymore, are kind of rebellious. The classic one is where a woman is the avoidant and they've been in a relationship and things have been so boring for years, or not bad but not great, or maybe something happened, like someone changed jobs or something like that, and it kind of triggers the girl to go into like full-on party mode. One of my clients referred to it like she's having her hot girl summer, and they can then become very harsh and rejecting, but at the same time keep on giving you hot and cold messages like, oh, we're gonna snuggle on the couch but don't kiss me, I'm going on a date with someone else, things like this, which is, and I even had people who are married who are going through this.
But and there's no agreement that this is an open relationship or something like that, right? They just start.
It's just like, I want to separate, goodbye. But and this, like, I'm not saying this is just women who do it, right? Like, women will have the hot girl summer. I find men do it just as much, and actually married men will do that, and like affairs happen, right? That people can become very heartless and selfish. Like, it's like something flips in their brain.
They suddenly want to live their lives for themselves. They've missed out or something.
Yes. I've spoken to quite a few
stories
these stories. And within these scenarios, it's the same. In some cases, this person realized, I don't want to be married. I don't want to have a family. I want to like party and have fun for the next, I don't know how many years. And in other cases, they realize they come around, right? They go on their benders, they go on their parties. 6 months later, or they start an affair, and 6 months later they come back and they're like, I'm sorry, I miss you, I messed up. So yeah, this like harsh, defensive, rejecting avoidance.
I mean, these stories are pretty wild. Yeah, again, I think you get more of those.
You get the ghosters, I get
more of the ghosters and the shy ones dragging their feet more.
Yeah.
But I mean, what you're describing, right, are situations where the person in the relationship with this avoidant feels like everything is going well, or relatively well, or not that bad at the worst. And this kind of comes out of the blue to them, and they're like, where is this coming from? Who are you? What are you doing?
What have you done to my partner?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they're trying to fix this. They're trying to reason with the person, but they're just defensive the whole time.
Well, the avoidant often blames their partner for what's going on. They often say, oh, you gained too much weight and I lost attraction. You have not pulled your weight
In this relationship.
You didn't help around the house, or you didn't contribute financially enough. And the partner knows that it's true to whatever degree. So they take on the blame and they tolerate the behavior and feel like in some ways it is their fault.
And they try fix themselves.
They
might hit the gym.
Yes,
they might
lose all the weight.
Take more responsibility.
Yes. They might get a job and feel like, okay, I've done the thing you complained about, yet you're still being a jerk. So maybe I haven't done enough, or maybe it's too late. Maybe I messed this up. It's a very heartbreaking situation, I find.
And is it sometimes not also the case that the conclusion is then maybe this isn't about me, and you've just been using these things as an excuse
to go on your little
escapades?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Or you have some issue.
Yeah. And in this case, the boundaries are what are really important, right? Because it's a question of how much do they mean this? Is it just a phase and it's something they're getting out of their system, or this is some kind of backlash, revenge for what they feel the partner put them through, and they're going to come around again? Or is this definite?
Or is this what they want in life?
This is what they truly decided they want now. And the way to reveal that too is just by saying, like, making the effort, right, and coming their way, but then also saying, okay, like, if this is continuing, I'm not playing this game anymore. It's terribly hurtful. I'm done. And what often is revealed, I do find, though, then is that they aren't actually willing to lose the partner.
Yes.
Suddenly the priorities shift again, right?
Yeah.
The going out on their escapades isn't quite as important as their stability and security of their relationship.
Yes. And the affair is not as rewarding as they thought
They
that it would
imagined.
be. And they
Grass is not greener on the other side.
And living in a separate apartment.
And the dating world is brutal.
Yes. It's all not as great as they thought there would be. So, yeah, there is a high chance that they do come around, actually, these types.
Yeah.
But some just do too much damage as well in their careless actions. Actually, this what you said about they have no willingness to lose their partner. I feel like in these situations, this is the key. And this is the mistake most anxious people do. Or a lot of anxious people do. They're always willing to take the avoidant back, regardless of what they have done. And they take on the blame. So whenever they speak with the avoidant, it's always from this appealing to them kind of thing. And in these types of situations, it usually goes on for months. And you have countless interactions and countless chances to show the avoidant, hey, what you're doing is not cool. I'm going to move on now. I'm no longer so in love, or this has really destroyed us. But that's when some anxious people hide this. And they always put like a happy face on whenever they interact with the avoidant, and they always keep on appealing. So the avoidant never gets a chance to feel like they're losing their partner. And that's when things can actually fizzle out for good. Because like then the anxious person moves on and the avoidant's like, that's not what I wanted. But by then it's
sometimes too late.
It's too late, yeah.
That's what I mean with the boundaries, right?
Yeah.
You have to sooner than later communicate them to whatever extent. Otherwise, you're going to reach your limit and you're going to say, I'm done.
I guess this kind of applies for all three scenarios. That's when you let the avoidant reveal where their heart is truly at.
Yeah.
Whether they care, whether they are interested and need the little help, right? Or whether they're just not interested.
Not interested, yeah, exactly. And the biggest hurdle, I think, for people is generally to take that seeming risk and say, I'm willing to find out the truth of where your heart truly lies. Because in a way, it's just a bridge that's too scary to cross. You'd rather prolong the limbo state than face the potential that this might be over.
Keep on hoping.
Keep on hoping. And that is the very thing the avoidant is using against you. So it is important to pluck up the courage at some point to at least start implementing some boundaries of some kind and communicate where you're at and how this is impacting you and see what they do with it. And that will reveal where they're truly at and whether for you it's ultimately worth continuing to invest in this or not. That you're not wasting your time, energy, and money. I mean, life's too short. At the end of the day, either you can figure this out, and sometimes it's a question of months or even years, right? To recalibrate, to work through your backlog in the relationship and be on good terms again. But it's better to know.
It's better to know whether
it's the uncertainty that kills them.
Yes.
Right? That's so hurtful that you don't know. Are they in? Are they out? Am I wasting my time? Am I not? So
it's like dare to face the music.
Yeah.
I did. I did many times.
You did.
Yeah. And it was
that's
scary.
What helped me understand for myself as well where my heart was. What was more important to me.
Because the stakes need to be high for both sides, not just one side.
Yeah.
So this is how you can tell if someone is just being a little avoidant and needs some help, or whether they're just not interested in actually investing in a relationship.
Yeah. Whether it's an a fresh relationship where you've just been dating for a few months, or even if it's a 10-year marriage and beyond.
And it hurts when it is a long relationship and it turns out
all the more
you've been making it happen. But it's better to know sooner rather than later.
Some people that come to us are in their 80s and they're starting over, and I think that's great if you're saying, okay, I actually want to experience love and relationships again at that stage in your life, and you're willing to invest and start over and let go of what wasn't working anymore. Yeah. It's commendable.
Yeah.
And you might, even if it's just for whatever remainder you have in your life, that time you're at least enjoying it. So that you're living to the fullest.
Yeah. I find people in like 60 up, people who have done the family, in some ways their relationships are inspirational because they just do it for fun.
Right. They're looking for the real deal.
Yes.
They've checked all the boxes. They've gone through all the stages. Yeah. Done the career, marriage, kids, house.
It's just for connection. It's just for
love.
Yeah. But coming back to avoidant or just not interested, how you tell, you let them reveal it.
Yeah. So on that note, thank you for listening, guys, or watching if you're on YouTube. Be sure to give us a like if you enjoyed this, subscribe if you want to hear more from us, or follow us on your favorite podcasting app. And if you have any questions related to this, let us know in the comments, and we'll try to get back to you.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks, guys.